It's been a pretty long time since I last talked about something degenerate. And I don't mean shit like talking about Goon or manhwas for 40 minutes straight. That's baby stuff. Everybody reads that shit. It's a no-brainer. I'm talking about stuff that most people would think thrice of consuming. Stuff that you don't bring up around normies if you don't want to be ostracized by society for the next 15 months. Stuff that honestly could put you in a mental asylum sometimes. And the reason I haven't been doing that much is because I'm kind of thinking about my future. Not so long ago, my 10-year-old cousin found one of my channels and asked, "Hey Unc, why do the girls in your thumbnails always have abnormally huge bazookas? And also, why do the stuff you talk about always gotta involve something unholy? I mean, we just came back from church. I don't know if this type of stuff Jesus wants us to make." And what she said kinda got me thinking. Is this the type of person I want people to remember me as? Do I really want to keep making this content? If my younger siblings, heck, my future children were to see what I do for a living, would they still view me the same? And do I want to be a role model for them? Yeah, the answer is yes. Listen, if any of my young ones see this, we're Indonesians for fuck's sake. There are plenty of other cousins for y'all to look up to. It doesn't have to be me. I really don't mind being the cousin your parents talk shit about in your dinner tables. But in the case you do see me as one, just know this. Don't let other people stop you from having your fun. Look at all the 40,000 people who follow me. They're all weird as shit too, but they don't let that stop them from being who they are, because that's all we can ever be. And if you do end up being called a freak or a degenerate for just being yourself, I say fuck them. You can come on by to me, goddammit. For all I care, as long as you don't touch minors in the future, I will still call you family. And real family always has your back. With that being said, I'm gonna talk about a manga that glorifies incest. So the first chapter starts with Albert, and he has a problem. That problem being that he is very bad at studying. Hey, he's just like me for real. So because of that, he didn't get good results in exams, making his future prospects pretty worrying. Hey, he's just like me for real. But see, his biggest problem is the fact that while he is studying, he keeps on being interrupted by this big Tio-san who happens to be his cousin. Just like me for real. No, really, I'm actually currently living with a big Tio-san who happens to be my cousin. However, while it all seems fairly innocent at first, this big Tio-san's teasing takes a step a tad too far. Because while he is hard at work, she keeps bouncing around him, acting flirtatious, make him get accidental luckies, and make him hard at work. Now, this is when he is not like me for real. I've talked about this topic before in multiple videos, but good lord, whenever Japan makes these types of mangas, I always find myself with multiple questions. First off, how close are they in terms of lineage? Because I've read this manga from beginning to end twice now, and they've yet to give me any mention on if they're distant relatives or close. This kind of tell you to not give a shit about it and stop acting like you care. In fact, at one point, they made a point where the big Tine-san said, "Yeah, we're cousins. So what?" I mean, alright, yeah, I see nothing wrong. Apart from the fact that our children could potentially end up looking like this, yeah, we are A-okay. Second off, how close are they? I'm not asking in terms of blood anymore. I'm simply asking if they've been close since a very young age. Because I'm gonna bring this up again, that I literally can't view my cousins as women. I mean, yeah, I know they are, but I've practically grew up with them to the point that I just don't see how they can be someone as the opposite sex as me. I know they have vaginas, I just didn't know they use them. Heck, I'm having a hard time believing if they really do right now. So personally, the very idea of Albert being a prepubescent boy blushing over a cousin he's probably been close with since a young age is not only weird, but also hard to believe. Anyways, back to the recap. So this manga is basically just a run-of-the-mill shenanigan of the week type of story. Every chapter ends like a one-shot. It follows nearly the same pattern of Albert going to study, then the big Tine-san comes in to ruin his day, or make his day, depending on how you see it, and us as readers get our daily satisfaction as our screens are covered by huge personalities. And not gonna lie, I kinda enjoy it. I think the jokes and humor are decent, the ecchi is definitely the selling point and they do a good job at making you buy it, and the romance, although scarce, isn't bad. The progression is fine, it doesn't feel too fast nor does it feel like it's dragging, it's just fine. And honestly, in this day and age, that's more than I can ask for. And I already know what some of you guys are gonna say. Oh, Kiwi is not beating the weirdo allegations, but I'm like, bro, you've watched my videos for how long now? you couldn't tell if this was gonna be something I would read? Listen, as long as the women aren't teenagers, there's a 70% chance that I would enjoy that ecchi. Wait. Albert has another big titty Nissan that he lives with, who is younger than the previous big titty Nissan? Oh my god, he's just like me for real. Okay, this is getting kind of weird. Why is his living situation a near 1-to-1 ratio with mine? Am I being spied on? Did the author look into my life and decided to make a manga out of me? If so, does that mean that Japanese people actually fantasize my setting? Guys, it's really not a big deal. Trust me, it's overrated. This shit is kind of taking me out. Because while the Nesan is a sleazeball, the younger Onesan is a tsundere. And this dynamic is literally how my cousins are too. On top of that, the older cousin I live with also helps me with my studies, and the younger cousin is a bit of an asshat who says mean things to me, and just like the manga, I fight with her a lot too. Plus, Albert is a shota, and so am I. We're also both stupid, we can't study for shit, and we both live in countries where cousins are allowed to get married. Nah, I gotta make myself clear here. I am not like Albert, seriously. It just so happens that his situation is very similar to mine. I repeat, I am not incestuous. My younger siblings who are watching this video, hey, look, I swear to God, I am not that type of person. Trust me. Now making this video is making me feel wrong. I'm starting to look at these characters in a completely different view. Ew, stop that. Hey, don't try to act enticing. It's grossing me out. Stop with the Sun act. You look stupid. Get this shit off my screen, bro. Oh, you think just because you're blushing it makes this moment cute? Nah, fam. This shit is making me wanna vomit. What's next, manga? You gonna start introducing their mom? You think that just because I love MILFs, that's gonna somehow change my mind? You really think something that cheap is really gonna work on me? Well, I'ma just say, thank God my aunt doesn't live with me.
The moon is made of cheese, but I can't taste it. But I like the way the texture feels when I lick the surface. Then the rumors start to go round.
Okay, all jokes aside, this manga is just some dumb fun. Last video I talked about a slop manga and how sometimes it's okay to read slop, but if I had to pick, this manga blows that one out of the water for multiple reasons. While that manga tried to be something more, this manga doesn't pretend to do that. It knows that it's just an easy, ecchi slice of life manga and doesn't stray away from that. You can come into each chapter expecting the same thing with the same expectations, and although the manga won't exceed them, they for sure never let you down. You read this manga for the tunes, you got them. You read this manga for the cute Onesan, you got her. You read this for the tsundere, sure, she's here too. You read this for the mommy, oh yeah. You get it good. No, seriously, I like how out of all of the fan service, she's the only one who gets the uncensored treatment. Hey author, appreciate it. And when I do want to introduce something a little more mellow than usual, it doesn't go too hard and betray your fun. It's a type of conflict that the manga needed, and it actually enhances your reading experience without being overly dark and keeps the tone of the series consistent. And the last thing I would give this manga credit for is that it isn't cringe. If you ask me, this is the most important factor. At first glance, a manga full of fan service with a dumb beta main character who keeps blushing over someone he calls Onesan, and that Nesan being someone he's related to, sounds like the type of shit you would avoid reading. I'd even argue most ecchis are pretty cringe. I can't remember 5 ecchis that I actually watched to completion and actually enjoyed. But this manga's lightheartedness takes it away, and just not make you think about those things and convinces you to let yourself go and just have some fun. At this point, I really don't see why they had to be cousins, cause it literally does nothing. Deadass, I'm actually kinda disappointed how little that setting does to the story. Can you imagine how spicy it would be if there was a chapter where they had a family reunion and their parents watched their romance and went, Jesus Christ, did we give birth to the wrong child? But no, they just act like childhood friends. Honestly, you change this text from cousin to something like neighbor and it literally changes nothing. Their dynamic still stays the same. You make it a story about a guy living with his neighbors due to his parents being in debt or something and not a single thing would change. So I guess it kinda helps. Now I can just block the fact that this is actually an incest manga out of my mind, and it kinda makes the manga better. or worse, depending on what type of freaky shit you like. But alright, I really don't have much else to say about this manga. It's a decent read. I enjoyed my time consuming it. So I'm gonna give I'll Be Spoiled by My Big Sis Cousin a 6.5 out of 10. You know the drill. The Patreon has the uncensored version of this video along with other videos from the channel that needed it, so go and check it if you're interested. And of course, the Kiwa channel is more active. I stream once or twice a week now. In fact, for those who joined in the previous stream, you would know that this video was coming. Cause I fucked up. You guys are ruining it. You guys are making me sad. Oh, for fuck's sake, that... Okay, you guys didn't see that. So yeah, come and join and you might accidentally get lucky and see some shit you weren't supposed to see. I know that's some exciting shit you young people like to look for. Instagram and Twitter @handle is the same. I prefer using Instagram more. I post and drop stories announcing announcements there. But if you want to follow my Twitter, that's fine too. But yeah, I got nothing else to say, so see you later. Bye.